I got a pretty bad one in the preseason, but on the goal line, I don't know. Maybe Jacksonville. Colts 2023.
What goes through your mind when you see Joe down and knowing, hey, it's my turn to step up right now?
Yeah, I think you just go into get warm again, and just go operate. And I think for me, it's just staying level. Obviously, it's like you think you're gonna be sitting on the sideline, then you get thrown in, and that can kind of create like an emotional jump and try to ride that wave and just operate.
And what was your approach there on the last drive? Kind of pushing the ball down the field, taking your chances.
I mean, you should be delusional. I think I'd thrown 3 picks, and it was like somehow we still have a chance to win the game, and so can't be. It sounds bad, but you can't be afraid of the 4th in that situation because you got a chance to win it. Defense did a good job of forcing the turnover on downs, and I think like I said, just being a little delusional and just keep being aggressive because the moment calls for it.
The 4th down interference to Yoshi.
Yes.
You guys converted that, I guess.
Yeah, I just saw press and just threw it to him. Check to it.
Sorry. The RPO pass to Tinsley for the touchdown was it his specific matchup? Was it the fact that it was a small one? What made you go with that?
It was he was one-on-one, and I don't. If you're wearing a Bengals uniform on Sunday and you're one-on-one, like I'm going down swinging. Like I'm gonna give him a chance, and I feel like good things happen to me when I just throw it up to Mitch, and so just did it, and he made an unbelievable play. I haven't seen the replay, but everybody said it was a one-hander, so happy for him because I've done the P squad grind, and so getting to see someone else kind of go through that, and a guy that I don't think he doesn't really talk at all and just works really hard, and so it was good to see that.
Being a guy who did the practice squad grind and having won as a starter in the NFL, when you get opportunities like this, what's that like for you kind of emotionally? I know you're locked into the game.
Talking about for me or for Mitch?
For you.
For me, I don't know. There's not really a ton of thoughts. It's just, all right, go operate. And, I think I convince myself every Saturday that this is going to happen, and I study and I get ready for it. So then it does happen. It's surprising to everybody else, but it's my job as a backup is to be ready for that. So, I think it's just go operate.
How do you shut that emotional part of your brain off every week?
I don't know. Messed up in the head.
Speaking of that, Jake, Zach praises you for the fact that every day, the way that you approach practice and work, how do you find the focus and drive every day? I would assume that's probably hard to do, not knowing when you're going to play. Like, where does that come from for you?
I think it's just a discipline of that is my job. It's what I'm here to do. And, just the work ethic part, and just, like I said, my worst nightmare would be getting thrown out there and not being ready. And, I didn't have my best game, but was ready enough to win. And so, I think throughout the week, nobody knows if the backup quarterback's paying attention at all until you get thrown in. And then it's like, hey, this is pretty important tape. And, I think it's something I just try to stay locked in. I think it's honestly easier to stay locked in as the backup than the third string practice squad guy. So it's actually a little bit easier. There's actually a chance of playing.
Did Joe say anything to you after the game?
I'll keep those conversations private. But I obviously hope the best for him, and it's unfortunate.
About your performance.
Oh, he just said good job, and I'm dealing with getting close to passing out because I'm tired from the game. He's dealing with an injury, and so it was brief, but I think said good job.
Zach said you guys kept running the plan you had when you came in. Like, what were the conversations like about what you guys were going to do after you got in the game?
I think Zach is about the most steady. I came off the field after throwing my 3rd pick, and it was just like, all right, here we go. And I think it's kind of nice. It allows you to beating the Jaguars is hard enough, and doing it with a coach yelling at you after you just threw your third pick would make it even harder. And so, I mean, a lot of credit to him for I don't think I've ever seen him lose his cool ever. And so it makes it really easy to get thrown into a hard situation when you know that, he's got my back and he's going to stay steady.
Seemed like Jamal gave you some juice coming out of the half. I'm sorry, it's all like it seemed like he gave you guys some juice coming out of the.
Jamar?
Yeah, coming out, like late in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I was not surprised by that. I think he's, best receiver in the NFL. And just get him the ball.
It looked like you and Pitch had a nice moment at your locker after the game that came over. What was that like? If you care to share what kind of conversation was had there with Pitch?
Yeah, I think he was just happy for me, and everyone is riding the emotional high of having a crazy ending to a game where a bunch of bad stuff happened and we still found a way to win. And so, I think Pitch and I have been through a lot together, and kind of the same as Zach. Like, you just feel like he just keeps his cool, and no matter what just happened or if I played well or played bad, it's just puts me in his demeanor allows me to go out and play really well. And so, really appreciative of that.
Speaking to some of your teammates,
Close to passing out after the game.
Jokingly, I
Well, I
wouldn't
know
answer
that.
that.
How much were you feeling that on that last drive? Just feeling
I think
the energy.
Yeah, I think everybody was. I'm sure the guys that actually run a lot were pretty tired too. And I think it was just. It was definitely a gritty win. It was entertaining, and I'm just happy we found a way to win.
Did Joe say this to you at halftime?
Speaking of some of your teammates after the game today, it was kind of the same response they had a couple of years ago when you were playing. You totally have the locker room. How have you won over the locker room as a backup?
I think like when I'm a backup, just like the way Zach and Pitch were to me, like how I described that, like being that for Joe, the O-line, like just trying to be as helpful as possible. And I think they see that I work really hard at this, and I'm always prepared, I'm always ready, and have everyone's best interest. Like, even if I'm not going to go on the field, like, I want to win. I'm going to do everything I can to try and help us win. And so I think there's some appreciation for that. And I think the other thing is just, I've been here for a while. And I think everybody feels like, hey, this I don't know if this is weird to say, but like this guy would play at a lot of other places, but I'm behind Joe. It's weird to say after throwing 3 picks, but I think there's some of that. And so, obviously no one's happy about what happened to Joe, and like it's awful, but it's also like, hey, this guy's getting a chance.
You talked about, the calm demeanor Zach has. What did that do for you, give you guys a chance to, I don't know if reset is necessarily the right word, but, when you get the ball back, at the 8-yard line with those 3 minutes ago, how does that calm demeanor that you guys have on that sideline help you kind of refocus and get ready for that drive that you guys end up winning?
I think it allows me to be, like I said, a little bit delusional and just know, like, I need to be aggressive here to try and win the game, regardless of what just happened. And, I think you can see sometimes when a quarterback isn't, and there's probably a lot of reasons for that, but head coach screaming at you about turnovers is makes it a lot harder. And so he's got a good demeanor, and just it's the voice in the helmet. It's pretty calm at all times, and so it just allows me to go play without feeling that added pressure.
What did you at halftime? Did you go over like, this is what I'd like to do? This is what I like.
I've played a decent amount here, and I liked the plan. So I feel like in that situation, it's just call what's going to work, and I'll just operate.
Did Joe or anybody say anything to you at halftime as you kind of start prepping to go out there for the second half?
One more time?
Did Joe or anybody say anything to you at halftime as you get ready to go out there second half? Like, just anybody say anything?
No, it was just let's go win the game.
If you have to end up playing on Sunday or for an extended amount of time, what gives you the most confidence that you'll be able to go out? What's a prep going to be like this throughout the week if you do have to end up starting from now?
I think for me it's just one day at a time. Said this a bunch, but it wasn't my best game. Obviously, I'm happy we won, so it makes Sunday happy. But I think Monday when we come back in, it's like, okay, we need to, starting with me, like we need to continue to get better It's only week 2, and for me, it'll be the same. That's one of the nice things about always being prepared and preparing hard is my preparation doesn't really change that much. If anything, it's a little bit easier because if that ends up being the case, I'm getting the walkthrough reps. I'm doing the practice reps. It's significantly harder as a backup to just go through all the reads in your head and you haven't really done it.
You're aware the team is waiting for you next Sunday.
One day at a time.
Jake, were you surprised that they didn't kick the field goal to make it a 6-point game and you guys cover it to 7? With a chance to tie or win it with the TD?
Yeah. Surprised. I don't know. I wasn't really thinking about it too much. Just knew whether they score a touchdown, field goal, or whatever, or go for it and don't get it, we were going to get the ball back and we need to make something happen.
Jake, after you throw your third pick, are you beating yourself up, or do you know a way to pull yourself, not go down that rabbit hole too far?
Yeah, I've had a lot of ups, or a lot of tough times in my career where you just kind of have to keep a level head and continue to focus on the task at hand, which is there's nothing I can do about just throwing my third pick. So you just got to move on and wash it, and Monday start to peel back the onion of like, okay, what do I need? What is the things I need to improve on? Obviously, it's hey, don't throw the ball to the other team, but there's certain things that usually come up that create that end result, and so trying to be better on those.
After that third pick, Zach admitted he couldn't help but notice a lot of the fans leaving. Did you notice that?
No, I was just mad I threw my third pick, but moving on and trying to get ready for the next drive, and I'm not really looking at the fans during the game, to be honest. I'm kind of focused on just playing quarterback.
You had a satisfying win of your career or comeback of your career? Or where does it rank with Apple Cups?
Apple Cups. I don't know. I don't really have a ranking for it, but glad we won, and looking forward to tomorrow and watching the film and figuring out how to play better, because it was definitely not up to how I expect myself to play.
Before this one, have you had a game-winning quarterback sneak?
I don't know. Been doing it for a while. It's hard to remember.
Kind of high. You went up kind of high. Is that about as high as you did?
Higher than you can jump. Hobson.